Jensen, director on Halo Wars 2.
And I think your team is known as?
Brute Force.
Brute Force. All right, so you heard it here. Team Brute Force against Team Spartan Strikers. Action is going to kick off in just a moment. I'd like you guys to please take your seats, get situated. This is a friendly affair, but of course bragging rights are on the line. To help me call the action and bring some additional livelihood to the stream, I'd like to call in Grim Brother 1. Pop down next to me here in the booth. Someone just launched Microsoft Word on my laptop.
Oh, sweet.
I can't see the chat, so if we could just get that
we
resolved from a technical level. All right.
While we cast.
Okay, so, well, our teams are getting situated here. Just get you caught up. Remember, next week, Tuesday, September 26th, is the release of Awakening the Nightmare, the new expansion coming out for Halo Wars 2.
Can't wait.
What's that?
Can't wait.
You can't wait. We have been, you know, Terminus Firefight's a huge part of that. We showed that off here already. Of course, the new Banish campaign, 2 new leaders. Today, though, we're really going to focus on some freebies that are coming out in conjunction with, but not really part of the update, right?
Yep, that's true. Yeah, we've got Spectator mode, which is pretty cool, and we got 2 new maps. These 2 new multiplayer maps. I believe we have Fissures and Mirage.
Fissure and Mirage,
right?
and I think I've heard that a lot of people wanted Spectator mode. I think ever since launch.
I think so. I think people actually renamed their Twitter handles after it. There were at least a couple people who did that.
It's pretty exciting. The team's been hard at work with our friends at CA. Glad that this feature's finally coming out. So the way this is going to work is I am actually the 5th player in this lobby. My team is Spectator. And we are ready to go as soon as Corey over there would like to kick things off. So we have Tori and Clay on Team Brute Force matching up against Isaac.
Did you say Corey? Did you combine their names?
Well, she kind of goes by Corey. I think you were out that week. But when she gets her game face on, she becomes Corey, who is just a ruthless, vicious, micromanaging killer.
That's terrifying.
No, no worries over there for these guys. No. So, you know, we're not really professional casters, but we'll pretend like we are for the next 45 minutes or so. Yeah. We do have some prizes. I promised those. Our friends at over in the CP team, Mr. Halo Gear himself gave us some sweet swag to give away. So I'll probably look to Grim here to help figure out who we might give those to. HaloWaypointStore.com, I'm told, has a wide selection of fabulous Halo Wars 2 merchandise, including this very Jerome sweatshirt that I'm wearing right now, which I actually am quite fond of.
Very Spartan of you.
Hashtag Corey is already trending in the chat. So.
Oh, man. RTS Corey vids. We have some name changes already.
All right, so we are in action here. While these guys are getting situated, let's just take a moment and kind of walk through. So we are using Spectator mode. This is the same real feature that you will have when this feature launches next Tuesday.
So, walk me through how you kind of even started this up.
Well, right now, they each, 2 of them picked the red team, 2 of them picked the blue team. I picked the Spectator team. So basically, you can have 1 Spectator slot in the game. That's what I'm doing. Right now, I am in a follow mode. So you'll see in the upper left corner on Spectator mode, I have a unique UI, right? So those across the top left and right trigger, I'm going to use those to cycle through my views.
Awesome.
So unfortunately, we're using these placeholder dev gamer tags that aren't incredibly useful. So
that's true.
But it does allow me to kind of keep track of
to spam with friend address,
who I'm watching, which is kind of nice. This is, by the way, one of our brand new maps. I missed it at launch. I think this is Mirage. Did we start on Mirage? Is that correct? I missed that launch. Yes, Mirage, one of our 2 free new maps. So in addition to just a straight follow mode, right now I'm literally just following them in their camera as they're moving it. I also could press the Y button to toggle, and now I'm in a free roaming mode. And this is where Spectator gets cool, and this is where maybe our viewers get nauseous, right? Because I just start kind of crazy moving the camera around here. One thing the team pointed out that I think is pretty cool is in Spectator, you can actually zoom in even closer than you can in the normal default game camera, right?
I can actually see this being really handy for community content creators who want to maybe film or get in closer to some of our units, look at them more detailed.
You know, Jesse on our team, when he produces those awesome trailers for new leaders, kind of uses a similar tool here that allows him to push in extra close.
Now, I'm seeing the X button has Fog of War on. Does that mean you can toggle?
I just
as Spectator, we can
Check
just toggle Fog of War
Check
on and
it
off?
out. We can.
That's
So we might as well leave it
slick.
off for the sake of our viewer audience, right? So not much happening here. Let's jump up to you'll see down on the up top in the mini map there, it shows where my cursor is, the clear one. So we've already got a little skirmish going down here, it looks like.
How close can we zoom in down on some of these Marines? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, we can go in way
That's
close
good.
right now. So it looks like right off the bat, our blue team, which is Team Brute Force, already getting one of their little satellite structures attacked here. And even though I'm in free mode, I'm still technically following that 2dev 691 blah blah blah. So I can see that person just got a leader point, which they have not spent yet. I know.
Oh, wow.
Our
Chat's
chat
not
loves
going to
to
like
call
that.
out people
That's,
that don't
you hate
use
to
their
see it.
leader points. You know, we'll see if that ends up being a problem later on. While this match kind of transpires and gets built up, let me just kind of slowly pan around the map just a little bit.
Let's take some kind of environmental shots.
Give people some ideas of kind of what this map looks like. It's got a pretty cool aesthetic
I love the depth down in there, how you can actually see down into the map.
You can. Way down there is bottomless pit. Like there's a huge skirmish going on here mid-map, and we're looking at a chasm. So Jeff, if you want to kind of give us a sense of what's going on here.
So I see we got the skirmish going on now. I mean, a lot of the early game is where you're going to start to see some of the strategies that the teams are maybe showing their hand at wanting to employ. And it's going to be interesting to see how they combine their personal play strategies even with the strengths of some of the leaders. So if we've got, I believe, our two Brute brothers.
I do think that they are both playing as
and
Team
it's
Brute
interesting
Force,
because these are kind of, I've been joking, they're like the Bebop and Rocksteady of the Jirohane, and they're made obviously to stand on their own. Vortis especially is definitely good when paired in a team. Probably not as strong, or at least a little tougher to use and master by yourself. But Vortis definitely works as great support, and works as, like I said, especially good support with his Brute Bro, Pavium.
I'm going to jump over here to red team, see how the Spartan Strikers are doing. I don't exactly remember who this is right now, Max or Clay, but got a nice little base going on there. It looks like.
I love this like beach area.
Yeah, this is nice.
Awesome.
It's kind of a nice little like summer getaway
little resort getaway.
Nice little slow build up here in the early game, of course.
One of the things I love that we that was improved is the kind of purple lavender HUD indicators over some of the NPC units like the Sentinels.
Pretty good startup here, it looks like. Not a lot's happened. We had a small skirmish in the beginning for mid-map control, but now both teams have kind of resigned themselves to just getting their bases built up, getting that economy going. You know, I have to say, during the lead-in here, I didn't even quite notice. I believe, who do we have over here on the Spartan Strikers? We have, what, Cutter and Jerome?
I think we have Cutter and Jerome. Yeah.
Okay, Cutter and Jerome. So,
which is an interesting pairing, really. It's kind of like the UNSC's version of, Vader and the Emperor.
Tyrell is asking if Spectator is filling one player spot. At the moment it is, but my understanding, and maybe one of our teammates here playing, if they can hear me, I still believe that you can play a 3v3 game and have one extra slot for Spectator. That is correct.
We are getting the okay from off camera.
So right now, obviously, we're just doing a 2v2.
So technically, that means that there is a 7th player spot that's been opened up and available for that.
Yes, but you can't ever have more than one Spectator in a game. Is that correct, Isaac? One Spectator. So to answer your question there, Nakamura, one Spectator at a time. So I'm going to go back into follow mode here and kind of roll around.
Here we go. We've got some abilities being used now.
We've got a leader power coming into play. Let's zoom in here.
I just love that glassing spiral trace there.
Good stuff, good stuff.
Nice. This extra zoom functionality really kind of gives you an appreciation for some of the awesome work that the animators did. There's a lot of just little tiny details you don't get to see. I believe we got a new mega turret over there.
Where are we at? Where are you looking at?
Right here. We got
you're right. That is a mega turret.
Yeah.
We saw that last week in our new leader preview with Clay.
So that's really kind of an interesting play there, because it kind of gives you like an artillery setup using a mini base like this. Rather, typically conventionally you would go out and you would use a mini base for either some extra resources or maybe extra power generation, or maybe you want to have an extra barracks or garage that you can build vehicles or build inventory and get them into battle a little bit closer. But this is a different approach, obviously, because now you can actually move your artillery, kind of move the front out a little bit and be strategic. Maybe you're putting it close to an enemy base.
Speaking of enemy base, right here, it looks like we've got one of the Brute brothers. I see. I see some of this infused.
We got some Vortis action here. We got all this gray goo.
Infusion goo starting to spread across the map, making a play right now, trying to take out this satellite base.
Got to watch out for his goo shooter, man.
Yep. We've learned a lot about that goo last week. Remember, it can actually buff friendly units. It also can be, later on, via leader power, kind of lit on fire as like a napalm to hurt enemy units.
I really like the effect, actually. And we noticed last week that we were playing on a different map. It was actually a little bit tougher to see that, but now that we're playing, I know some people in the chat had noticed that they were worried that it might not be real visible, but now we're seeing, with the right background and contrast especially, that's you can definitely know and see where that stuff is.
I still see a couple shout-outs in the chat for hashtag Team Corey. So
a lot of hashtag Team Corey.
A lot of people rooting for Team Brute Force. Don't worry about it over there, Spartan Strikers. We're still rooting for you.
We love you.
We love you. I mean, I am, as it was called out, I am repping the Spartan squad here with my apparel. Speaking of Spartan Strikers, let's jump back over to those guys now. Now I'm just going to hit my right trigger to cycle to a different player. I'm going to hit the Y button to go back to follow cam. So right now we are looking at
It's interesting with the follow cam because, like even just as a player myself, to watch some players that are more experienced, to see like how they go to micro, where they're moving the camera, and even how quickly they're moving from back and forth to try to pay attention. And looking at our mini map, I don't know about you, but I'm seeing a lot of blue.
I'm seeing a lot more blue right now. I think it's safe to say Team Brute Force is off to an early start. Good start here.
More like Blue Force, I think.
We were worried about our time.
See, you can get over there. You can actually see an encroaching blue force on that red base there. Here we go. Got it right here.
Yep. So right now we're watching Max's point of view.
I'm already loving the Spectator. This is fantastic.
It's really cool. And remember, somebody else in the chat already pointed this out. Halo Wars 2 will be getting a 4K update for Xbox One X later this fall. So imagine how much cooler the Spectator is going to look at that level of resolution.
So many Ks.
So now we got some serious fighting going on here. Let's see what Max does to respond. Right now he's kind of holding back on his army. I think he's just going to let that base go. I don't think it's worth it right now.
Just leave it to the burn, man.
I'm going to detach the camera here. I want to fly back over. I see feels like Max is just going to turn tail right now. Spartan Strike definitely get their backs against the wall. Brute Force on the offensive.
You can see the infusion gels here. It's almost like they're kind of laying this down to secure this base plot for themselves.
I think they are. I think you're right there. Finding a little bit of counter resistance now coming back from Team Spartan Strike. I think that's Isaac coming in here to try to help Max out, who just lost that satellite base. But that is a large, large army right there. Brute Force really taking advantage of that infused goo.
Quite a contingent. Now it looks like I see a star on the field. Do we have a hero unit coming out?
I think we do right here. Let's push in and see what this Spartan does against overwhelming odds.
Wait a second. Would that be... That's another Spartan. How are you going to have... I don't think that's Jerome, though. I think that's probably Alice.
Lots of fighting. Look at those. There's the new Brute Grenadiers, one of the new units that we revealed last week.
This is not looking good.
Blue is wrecking. I think Team Brute Force is right now off to a pretty good lead here. We are going to play 2 games on each of the new maps. Let's take a look over here. We got Brute Force snuck in here with the stealth attack, taking out the main base. And here comes Red now, going to try to come in. Spartan Strike.
It's Jerome? That's weird, because we'll have like 2 Jeromes on the screen, like at the same time.
Like double Jerome?
Like a double Jerome.
Wait,
is that even possible?
Did someone say double Jerome?
Oh my gosh.
That's right.
It is possible.
Remember the Halo Gear store.
We thought all the action was going to be on screen.
The double Jerome look can be yours at the Halo Gear store. Here we go now. It is not looking good. I think Spartan Strikers are down to 1 base at the moment. 1 base left. And for a question on the chat here, people were asking if this was one of the new maps with Spearbreaker. This is actually one of 2 brand new multiplayer maps coming out next Tuesday as part of the game update that'll be free for everyone.
Yep.
Which will also include the spectator mode that we're demonstrating here today.
Which is awesome, because, I mean, as players, we all know that sometimes it was tough when you had map packs that were maybe tied, and you had some players that had it and some players that don't. Not everybody gets to experience it. So we wanted to make sure that even with the expansion coming out and kind of being its own separate deal with a host of inclusions, that everybody really got a chance to experience some of these new play spaces, really kind of freshen up the experience, not only for multiplayer, but even if you just kind of wanted to go either alone or in some co-op for some skirmish. That's what I'm looking forward to. I love setting up kind of like imaginary battles and skirmish.
Sorry, there's a question on here by Shaping Sickness on the chat. Asked, what happens if I hit the back button? Can I see production? Actually, I can.
Oh,
so if you just want to kind of look at stats, cycle through players here, we can sort of see what's going on. I think the stats kind of tell the tale of this match so far. Now,
I don't even have to see to know what was going on. The sound cues right there, that just sounded like a lot of death.
So let's go back to the action and see what's going on here.
Death
could be Spartan Strikers' last hurrah.
That the telltale sign. It sounds like some ODSTs being dropped in.
Now look at this
infused
goo
gel
just
right
starting to just kind of creep into the base.
That's
there
rough.
it goes. It went away that time.
Uh-oh.
Is that a Brute Brother? It is. Look at that infused goo just dripping.
That's
now remember, both these new Brute
heavy
leaders,
Warlord action coming in.
The new leaders are not free. They are part of the Awakening the Nightmare expansion, which will be available for Win 10 and Xbox One on Tuesday.
Pretty crazy. With these leaders, brings us to a total, I think we talked about it last week, 16 leaders. I believe it's 8 UNSC and 8 banished in total.
That is pretty
man,
wild.
I love the full-faced helmet on Vortis, man. It's so good.
Jeff,
I don't see Pavium on the field yet, but it's too bad we don't see it because I know he has an incredible hat.
People in the chat are demanding a prize. I feel like we probably can give one away. We'll save some for later, of course. But I'm going to put you on the spot here, Graham, and ask you to any means you have. You could just pick a name from chat. You could ask a question, go with the first answer.
We're going
to
do some prize giveaway?
You can, let's do one giveaway now in honor of Team Brute Force so far annihilating the Spartan Strikers. Enemy base destroyed. So yeah, Jeff, why don't you give away a prize here while we're watching this massive wrecking.
All right. Well, obviously this is taking place on the Ark, and usually we just call it the Ark, but the Forerunners had another name for it. What is the Forerunner name for the Ark? It involves a number. Who's the first one to get that? First one to type that in. The other name for the Ark. Dr. Leo.
Okay, Dr. Leo.
Dr. Leo right there, installation 00.
So hopefully
installation numbers. Everybody loves talking about installation numbers.
All right, well, I'm going to reach down here and pick out a prize at random, and Dr. Leo is going to win, just in time for fall, a banished beanie
boom, right
in
here.
honor of Team Brute Force.
Dr. Leo has a very impressive mane.
And dude,
as
get a load of this.
This will struggle to capture it all. But
someone say they wanted Atriox tube socks. We've got Atriox tube socks. Atriox in honor of Team Brute Force. So congratulations.
I think I'm going to have to ask a question that only I know the answer to for these.
You win a prize. We will.
He gets both. He gets the hat and the socks.
Yeah, I don't want to go through the hassle of mailing just one of those, so we're going to mail them both. There you go. Hopefully we have a way to connect with you and get your mailing info. So
that's true.
I hope we have the technology to do that. We'll have to figure that part out.
Put these right back here.
I'm not sure we thought that part through all the way here, Grim.
Back
not. To the action, though. This match is coming to a close. This looks like the last remnants of Team Spartan Strike.
I'll tell you what, I'm actually really impressed at how resilient the Spartan Strikers have been. We've been seeing basically, nothing but blue on the map for quite a while, and
yeah, I'm not sure what happened. I mean, I think really from the beginning we knew the end, right? This was all Team Brute Force all the time. Now they're just showing off, demonstrating new abilities for us, which is nice. Spreading this.
We got a leader point. Could
and,
this be a tide turner?
Let's go right up here. Don't count them out yet, folks. Team Spartan Strike desperately clinging on here. 48 seconds left. Can they get another base built?
Oh, man.
I'm going to go on a limb here and say
maybe
not.
It looks like we have a Little Lich Vanguard action. I love this power,
Yeah,
man, especially when you're able to zoom in on the Banished Lich. Is super cool looking.
All right, so I feel like maybe some people are watching this already thinking like, oh boy, these two Brute Brothers, OP, calling it now.
Just looks like a really angry, well-armed trilobite.
I mean, keep in mind, we don't know what the... Exactly. As Clay just yelled to me off camera, it may seem like the Brute Brothers are OP, but what he's really saying is he and Tori are just much better players than
I think that's
Team Spartan Strike. Yeah, your own results may vary, exactly. So, Brute Force.
It's almost like he's tossing shade to his co-workers, though, which...
Yeah, you know, we're all about friendly attack, and that is it. Look at that.
They're the best.
Our first ever streamed, semi-casted, spectator mode deathmatch comes to a conclusion.
They can never take this away from us.
We have the blue team, known as Team Brute Force, the Brute Brothers, emerging victorious here in Game 1 on our new map, Mirage. Congratulations, folks. So we're going to run it back.
I think, though, the map can make a big difference, though. I kind of have some confidence in the Spartan Strikers as we move toward Fissures that that they can bring this back.
Yeah,
maybe
so,
even it up.
We're going to let Tori, our host. Yes, there are two maps here, Rice Zeta. That was one of the two new maps we just showed the first game. Now we're going to switch over, run it back again. A chance for redemption by our friends here on the Spartan Strike Squad.
Halo Grey
just kind of got rolled.
Another good RTS.
You know, if anybody really wants to change up your leaders, feel free. At this point, I don't want there to be any excuses. If Spartan Strike, if you don't want to be Spartans or UNSC anymore, it doesn't matter. Just whatever you guys need to do, I encourage you to do it.
If you don't want to be Brutes, you don't have to do that either.
I'm going to go on a limb and probably guess that Team Brute Force is really not going to. Why change what works?
Why change? And I mean, we really should be, you know, continuing to see these new leaders that are coming out. And if you're just joining us, we are checking out brand new Halo Wars 2 content that is slated to drop in just a few days. The 26th. We've waited. We pined after this. We're super excited. It's finally here. And I'm Grimp. This is Sketch. We're checking out not only some of the new leaders, Pavium and Vortis, but we're mainly checking out the two new maps. We just played on Mirage. Now we're going to Fissures. And what we are seeing, is the brand new Spectator mode. The much ballyhooed from fans, and it is really kind of a fan and community-driven feature set.
For sure.
Which a lot of our community has actually talked about how much they've enjoyed kind of the support post-launch and all of the everything from new content rolling out to balance updates and changes. And I think Spectator mode is a great example of really directly kind of taking some of the fan feedback and making some additions that are just some of the cool features that it's going to make for helping run tournaments or even just getting in close and checking out some of these units up close.
Yeah, it's great.
It's going to be really awesome. Great for streamers.
So
super excited.
We're jumping in now on, I don't know, depending on how you want to pronounce it, Fissures. Yeah, we're on Fissures, one of two new maps coming out next Tuesday
like
for free.
Drinks.
And this is the rematch between Team Spartan Strike and Brute Force. So we're going to stick with Spartan Strike here on the beginning. I'm just curious to see how the early game goes because I think they fell behind right out of the gate last time.
Right out of the gate.
Never really got a chance to kind of regain footing, and the Brute Brothers just
maybe they should have gone with
them.
Spartan Assaulters instead of Strikers.
You know, I
been more mobile.
I'm rooting for Spartan Strike here. I really want to see these guys represent.
That's true.
You know, they. I know they have skills. I've seen their skills.
I don't know if they can overcome just the sheer magnitude of the entity that is hashtag Corey, though. Hashtag Team Corey.
Yeah, well,
it's really become, it's almost like its own leader.
It is. I mean, Corey goes ham when she gets out on that battlefield. So let's not. I do like this hitting the back button here as Spectator.
Yeah, I love it.
Kind of check out the production, kind of see what's going on here. We see. I don't know which one's which, unfortunately. I'm not sure if that's Clay or Corey, but someone's got an upgrade in process. Kind of nice. We can cycle through here.
Who do we have? Tori, who are you playing as? All right.
Tori's
Pavium.
Okay.
So we've got Pavium with the remarkable, amazing, incredible hat.
Okay.
And then so that would have Clay as Vortis.
Vortis is like Buckethead. Okay. I hear some fighting, so let's jump back here and let's go back into free cam. I don't see no real conflicts happening on the map, but I'm going to scroll over here. Just to reiterate, I've seen some questions keep popping up. We are showing off spectator mode. You're allowed to have one spectator mode in the lobby at a time, and it doesn't really take away a player slot because you can still have a 3v3 game and have an additional person join in as spectator. You know, you mentioned tournaments earlier, Jeff. Another cool feature that we haven't talked a lot about is that Halo Wars 2 is also getting arena integration on Xbox One as a cool platform feature.
That's true.
So we are hoping to have more we can show and talk about that next week.
Yep.
I'm excited to hear more about it, but I think arena mixed with spectator, mixed with all these leaders, we could see some really cool things happening for this game. We know we have a really tight-knit, hardcore community.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited with some of these features, and really the combination of a lot of these features too are going to do for like even further extending the life of the game. We have an awesome community, and I can't wait to see what kind of things they come up with and show us.
So this is a little bit of a reversal from last match. We have Team Spartan Strike with the early push, trying to do a little base damage here.
It's true.
Not sure where blue team is. I'm going to jump back over to blue team. Let's see what's going on.
Well, we do. You can already see, like, blue team has now captured 2 extra mini bases, and I feel like this is kind of where it starts. You can see that center spot right there. Strikers are trying to retake that, but
yeah.
I feel like Brute Force doesn't mind building backward, building back and kind of using the depth of the map, which they used to their advantage last time for sure.
I really like just the nuance of not only can I see my white view here on the mini-map, but I could see, the team that I'm following. I can see where their view on the mini-map is too.
Absolutely.
Kind of give you a sense of where they're looking, how they're thinking about the map strategically. We're starting to see that infused goo show up on the map already.
And if, for those of you who are just joining us, you want to walk through some of these options here for the cameras as well. Like right now, you're using a free cam.
I'm in free cam, but I'm still technically kind of assigned to the blue team. So you can see it's telling me use my left and right triggers here to cycle through. So normally you would see your friend's gamer tag. You kind of know who you're watching. We're playing on dev kits here, so these are not super helpful to me.
Ridiculously weird gamer tags on the dev kits, as always.
We are still seeing Spartan Strike kind of just chipping away down here. This turret's probably going to make sure.
I almost wonder if they feel like they just hung back a little too much and they didn't harass enough, so Brute Force was able to just kind of amass. We see a lot more harassment going on.
So the Fog of War feature, someone's asking, is really just kind of, if you really want to see the other team's view and kind of what their Fog of War is, you can. Or if you just want to be able to show off the whole battlefield as a spectator and show off the whole map, you turn off Fog of War. So now my whole mini-map is now no more Fog of War in my field of view.
It reminds me, I mean, in a lot of ways, there are some features that are similar but obviously tailored specifically to RTS, just like our spectator mode for Halo 5 is, where in Halo 5 you can see, either outlines or different information on that.
Somebody in chat, at the outset said they should just go full flame, and
that's
I feel like it's working pretty good right now.
I think they're really channeling the orange of Spartan Strike into this here. Orange is the best color.
We are off to a much better start here for Team Spartan Strike, as we can see.
They are
Max and Isaac kind of combining forces here, just leveling that.
Is that their main base too? Oh no, they pulled back, so they did build a secondary.
Okay, but still, Brute Brothers right now, Team Brute Force does have their backs against the
heels.
wall. Yeah, the momentum has shifted greatly since game 1.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that is nice. Look at that, cool.
Neat.
Yeah, both these new maps have some nice depth to them for sure.
I remember talking early, actually, even when Halo Wars 2 first launched, talking with Jeremy Cook, who is the art director on this, is that obviously you're not able to, like in a first-person shooter, you're not able to kind of get the grandeur of a skybox above you. So one of the ways that they tried to kind of imply the grand scale of the arc was to look at the depth instead and use things like crevices and canyons to give this impression of a huge, massive structure, which I think they did awesome. And you only see coming to the forefront again in these new DLC maps.
Hey, let's do another prize time, Jeff, real quick while we're thinking about it, because we've only got about probably 20 minutes, so we have to wrap this stream to make room for our friends getting Pro League back this week for Halo 5. So you're back in the hot seat, figuring out how you want to give away a prize to one of our viewers. I got 2 more little prizes.
Okay. Well, we've just said a second ago that once Pavium and Voridus launch, we will be at a total of 16 leaders for Halo Wars 2, which is pretty awesome. When the game launched, though, we launched with 6 original leaders, first person to type in the chat the 6 original leaders in the chat. Who are the 6 original leaders? I'll give you a hint. It was 3 banished and 3 UNSC. 6 original leaders. Who was it? And Dr. Leo, you can't win again.
But I hope Dr. Leo sticks around so we make sure we can understand how to
Cutter Forge, Andrew, Isabel, Decitrox. Do we give?
It's up to you here, Graham. If that meets your bar, then by all means, it's totally your call.
You know what? I think we're going to. I think we're going to. So diverse something.
All right.
Diverse V1.
And for you, we have another combo prize.
Oh, combo prize.
A lot of our prizes today are banished themed. We have a heat-changing banished coffee mug, and
I might keep
this thing will make you the envy of all your hip friends. It is the
yes.
One Little Demon's chained wallet.
That's right.
So congratulations.
It's not a trendy wallet if it doesn't have a chain.
Let's get back to the action here real quick. We have one more prize we'll give away right before the end of the stream, so stay tuned for that.
Put this back here too.
Meanwhile, you know, I still see
I think I'm seeing a little more ketchup mustard action going on.
I see a lot of
Blue's
been losing a lot of units, but quietly building off bases. Yeah. I think down on the lower part of the map.
That was a well grouped.
So whoever we're watching now is completely out of units. Need to train some more. Let's see what the other
brute
force team here is also having some problems. It's still this opening rush, sort of hardcore flame squad.
It's interesting because I feel like Spartan Strikers really have the mobility and the army and the units themselves, but we are starting to see the scales tip a little bit from an actual base and an infrastructure standpoint back to brute force over here.
So brute force has multiple bases, but almost no units.
Yeah,
it's going to be hard to dig themselves out of this one.
It's going to be interesting.
Spartan Strike definitely.
Could Spartan Strike like take down these bases though, and before brute force is able to kind of amass a counterattack? Because I feel like once they do, that pendulum can swing real quick.
Gotcha. It looks like
Forge is down.
Looks like Grim, it's being pointed out that you may have picked an incorrect winner.
Did I?
May have been not 100% accurate in his answer. You might
left out.
You might need. You know, we could go back through the chat and find the next most recent correct answer.
Oh no! Guy one forgot Shipmaster. It's true. Apparently, so did I.
I see people in chat accusing people of being toxic. You know what is toxic? Infused goo.
Infusion gel.
Yeah, infusion gel. You know, I haven't called it the right thing since I
we should have called it goo, because Goo Shooter is awesome.
We got a leader point back. I'm going to jump across the map here. I got a little bit of skirmish going on. It looks like another one of the brute force's bases is under a massive assault. Look at that starting army.
Nice.
Rolling. Infantry all the way. Max and Isaac have a whole new strategy for Game 2, and so far it's working out wonderfully for them.
Oh, man.
Get wrecked. I'm seeing the chat saying get wrecked. What happened to hashtag Corey? Where's all these fair weather fans?
Come on now.
No one's cheering on the brute force team right now. Everyone just jumped ship. R.I.P. the brutes. Yep, I think maybe the viewers are onto something here. So, Jeff, I know we are currently working on some plans to try and do another little fun stream for next week to commemorate the launch of Awakening the Nightmare, right? And I know we're still trying to figure out what that's going to be, but probably going to be on launch day, safe to assume. And hopefully a lot of the same folks that are here today from the team will be back with us.
We are at the very least planning on it being a fun time. That's the only thing that we can usually ever guarantee is that we will at least have fun.
We have more. I know we have more prizes, bigger prizes. I'm told. Bigger, grandiose prizes. You know, I'm going to try to get some 5x5 codes, maybe give away a couple copies of Awakening the Nightmare for some of our viewers that may not have it yet. Maybe we'll jump in Terminus Firefight, even match against with some of these folks.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Some of our community brethren. Meanwhile, though.
Oh, dude, man, this just. These mega turrets just firing in. That's just fantastic.
Oh, that is the mega turret. I like the mega turret. I only see blue structures have diminished greatly. I don't really know. No, that's that new beam.
I feel like that's a good use right there.
That new beam that kind of leaves that nice infused gel on the ground.
Are they going to be able to get healed up in time? These choppers are coming in. Oh, nice use of raining down some debris from the Enduring Conviction.
Oh, there goes that mega turret.
Uh-oh.
Took that thing down. This might be a death
blow. That was
blow.
a solid play to try to take Garrett, but they've got another one over on the left side.
Yep. Now, will it? I guess it can. It actually shoot that close? Because right now it's not. Oh, it's just very slow. There. Oh, it sure can. What a devastating blow from that mega turret. A little bit of a squad here of Brutes doing what they can to try to defend their homestead, but it's not looking good for Team Brute Force.
Oh, man.
Let's push way in
Looks like
here.
we're going to even this up.
I really like those new Grenadier Brutes. We are probably going to tie this up, which is awesome, but also sad because we will not have time for a tiebreaker. But you know what? The rematch of the century next week in celebration of Awakening the Nightmare launch. I think
the rubber match indeed.
That's going to be winner take all.
We now know at least one thing that we're going to do for the launch stream.
It's going to be the
Brute
Force Spartan Strike rematch.
Now, I see Breezy Starfish. Does anybody know if the items in the giveaway will be available to purchase? I do believe
they all are.
Yep.
Some of them are at different stores than others, I believe. First stop might be to check through the Halo Gear store, which you can access right there on
HaloWaypointStore.com.
With our Jinx
and
partners.
if you ever have questions about where you can find a particular item, our consumer products team is ridiculously awesome and has a huge array, just a giant eclectic menagerie of awesome Halo products for you to choose from. And if you ever have any questions about it, like where to find something, or even maybe thoughts or suggestions on an existing product, or maybe something you'd like to see, don't hesitate to hit them up on Twitter, especially at Halo Gear.
Yes.
That is, they're usually really responsive, really active. We work with them to do fun social activities all the time, so definitely hit them up on social at Halo Gear if you've got consumer products questions specifically. And of course, for general Halo knowledge, you can hit us on Twitter at Halo, Facebook at Halo as well.
I don't know if we maybe kind of wrote these
have
guys
a little
off
bit of
a little too early. Like Brute Force is just will not go away. And we might be seeing Spartan Strike went so heavy on early infantry units that I'm not sure that's going to sustain long term here. We might be seeing. I mean, at the very least, Brute Force is not going away.
I see a lot of air units in here too.
Yeah.
So.
But look,
if they have enough infantry units to try to take them down.
The lower part of the map is still all blue right now. I mean, the blue team still has spaces. They still have structures.
And right now we don't have it. If we want, maybe we want to zoom down to the blues. Let's see if we can kind of identify.
Here's a little,
are they building anything up? Are they holding, like they're trying to heal some units right now?
Look at this. We've got one of our new leaders right here using his targeting laser for, I think that's the laser that allows the mega turrets to start wrecking this little base here, right? Let's wait for it. Where's the mega
targeting target designator there?
Wait for it. Mega turret firing.
There we
just heard
go.
the audio.
Let's see this. I want to see this rain of destruction come in.
Oh, now we're seeing hashtag pray for Corey.
Oh, no.
Hey, Corey's not out of this yet, folks.
I see Shaping Sickness. Great flood reference. Looks like Brute Force is coming back.
They are.
I think this might be true.
Who do we have to talk to preempt Pro League? Because this is a, this is a high stakes match here.
This is kind of like a Pro League.
I do really like this. This is an effective here. This mega turret shelling this base along with one of the two new Brute leaders. So
I feel like we should have like the graphic at the bottom, like on NFL games. It's like if you're tuning in to watch HCS Pro League, we will join the matches in progress at the conclusion.
Oh, wow. Can you imagine the outrage from the
they would be beyond angry.
HCS viewership. We don't want to do that, of course.
No,
we will have to wrap, even if we have to. You know what? We may just have to pull out a phone and take this party to Periscope. We probably
I see this time to get a Halo Wars.
We probably have about 10 more minutes,
guys,
maybe realistically, of stream time before we're going to have to.
Oh no, we see R.I.P. Corey. Oh man, there's even we have Hypebot doing a giveaway. Shaping Sickness just won a giveaway that we weren't even a part of.
What's Hypebot giving away?
I don't know. I wonder if Hypebot's giving away our stuff.
Well, speaking of, in case we do run out of time, Jeff, why don't you go ahead and figure out how you want to give away our last prize for today's stream?
That's true. I've been thinking about it.
Back on you. We got one more prize to give away. Right. We probably are going to have to wrap this stream up within 10 minutes. So
this is going to be.
Don't know if we're going to be able to see the conclusion of this epic battle here. But look at this, all of a sudden.
Dude.
Brute Force back again.
It's interesting.
This is
full pop cap as well.
This has really been a battle. We wrote these guys off early, and they just have not gone away.
I love the aptly named victory turret. I don't know if it's a little premature or not.
I mean, 5 minutes ago, this fickle chat was saying R.I.P. Corey.
Yep.
Pray
the fam
for Corey.
just giving up on Corey.
Now everyone's saying Corey for the win. Never count Corey out. It's a kind of a fickle chat, but we love it. Pretty big. This could be a very decisive. The outcome of this skirmish here could have huge repercussions for this match.
All right, so we ready to do a prize giveaway?
When you're ready, why don't you go for a prize giveaway?
All right. So, what was the name of the ODST squad in our most recent Operation Spearbreaker DLC? What was the name of the ODST squad? They had a code name. It was not Corey Sucks. That is incorrect and not nice. Space Mailman, Sunray.
All right,
Boom.
Space Mailman.
You know what? We've got Tank Slack with Boomerang Company, which is also like correct. Sunray is what we're looking for. Boomerang Company is the greater. So Sunray. The sun is on fire, and so is the spirit of fire. Right here, we've got this Dark Horse.
I think it's a limited edition.
Space Mailman.
Spirit of Fire.
This is for you.
Infusion Wake is ready now. You know, I did see hashtag Corey must be woke, and we just had the Infusion Wake ability come
We should really be keeping track of this. I don't remember who won.
We're
going to have to go back and watch this.
I really hope we can scroll back through the chat, unless maybe someone like Sticker Boy or Snickerdoodle
Space Mailman, Dr. Leo
might be able to help us out here. And
that's true.
You know, we are a little low on
Sticker
resources
Boy,
right now.
Snickerdoodle. They'll help us. They'll be able to help. One of you guys, make sure you go back through and help us write these down, because we're not writing them down.
It'd be even easier.
We'll make sure you get.
What would be easier is if each of our 3 winners maybe just tweeted at you on Twitter.
That's true.
That would be a great
way.
way.
And if like 8 people tweet at me, I know there are some shenanigans going on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's going to happen. Be like, I won. So if you did win, tweet at me.
Jeff,
we'll figure out a way to.
While we've been giving away prizes, slowly but surely we're down to Team Spartan Strike only has two. I guess 3 bases.
Yeah,
left.
they got 3 bases.
A main base and 1 mini. Blue team has really kind of got themselves back into a good position here.
Yeah.
We are running low on time.
It's interesting though, the difference in it, and I'm not sure if maybe it's part of the way just the map itself plays out. But you remember our last match on Mirage, every base was full. Every base pad was occupied by someone. Here, we've got 3 bases, 3 main base slots, and at least 1 mini base slot that is just kind of either been ignored, and maybe that's to save some resources, or maybe that's just to get into the action. Maybe it's by necessity.
Halo, Dr. Leo, and Space Mailman won the last 2 prizes. All right, cool.
All right. Thanks, Halo.
Space Mailman, I wouldn't brag about not even having ever played Operation Spearbreaker.
We had one in between. We had Dr. Leo, we had Space Mailman.
We've given away 3 prizes. 3 prizes.
Yeah, we had the one in the middle.
Look at this skirmish here. This is probably going to be a game-deciding battle, if only for the fact that we're going to have to terminate this stream very soon. I'm guessing we have at least 5 minutes, but not much longer.
Flaming Ender. Grim, you betrayed me. I did nothing of the sort. At least not knowingly.
Looking over to production here, it's 3:45. We got it. Do we have a hard stop of our production crew? Just what's our comfort level here?
We have a request from the Uncle Kazoo. Can Corey become a DLC leader?
About 3:55. Okay, we got about 10 minutes here.
I think really the biggest thing that would stand in the way about that is usage rights, usage issues with likeness rights and things like that.
Look at this battle. You know what? I've also seen some questions in here. Somebody, Tank Slap, I think, has been very eager and excited to see the weekly update, which will be coming tomorrow, which is Thursday, the regular day. But I think we can look forward to another bit of lore about our new leaders, correct?
We can. We can indeed. Last week in the community update, we looked at Vortis, some background lore there. So tomorrow, we are going to take an equally teasy lore look at Pavium. It's going to be awesome. and his glorious noggin.
Remember that we will be back for a stream next week. Stay tuned. We'll have those details. We will have more prizes. I know some people are upset that they didn't get a chance to win a prize, but we've got more to go around. Don't sweat it.
Something I was thinking about doing. I don't know if like anybody would want to. I was thinking of we just got all the achievement images in that showcase stills from the ridiculously cool Blur cutscenes. If you want me to include one of those achievement images in tomorrow's update, press 1. Actually, type 1. Type 1. Has to be spelled out.
Somebody wants to know if you can write some lore and they can get a cannon fodder on Corey.
I
don't know what we've created here.
We could make that happen.
I feel like if there's not a leader named Corey in the expansion on Tuesday, some people are going to be really upset. Some people don't know the whole history. They're just joining us. They think Corey is a very powerful new brute leader, which technically I guess she is.
Technically,
yeah.
She is commanding the brutes, so really she is leading the brutes.
You know, this has really turned into one hell of a back-and-forth
battle. This is incredible. We might have to.
It was 20 minutes ago. We were basically phoning this in. We said it was done.
That's
Spartan Strike was going to be the victor. We were already talking about the epic rematch next week, and this is right back to anyone's game right now.
Well, we already have our epic rematch, I think, right here.
Anyone's game. Yoda
we're still on blue. We're dropping PopCap. Like, seriously, they only have 6 units left, so that's. Whether they've got any.
This base is in trouble.
And not a lot of resources to work with, so. Uh-oh.
It's time to go all in, guys. We got hard stop in 7 minutes, so we don't want to leave our viewers hanging. If you've got anything up your sleeve, you've been sitting on any ultimates, now is your time.
How do we break a tie?
One of our brute force teams is officially out of units. Their base is under extreme duress. Hey, let's zoom way in here, show off that new enhanced zoom that Spectator offers. Look at all that fire. It's glorious. Raining down. I'm hearing a lot of good communication over here to my right from Team Spartan Strike. And just like that, look at that annihilation.
Oh, man.
Spartan Strike, what happened?
Oh, base down, though.
Base is down. They lost a lot of units, but they lost that base. That leaves
now actually base is
Brute Force has one little mini base hiding back here,
in favor.
And they've got this last
Spartan Strikers.
One main base remaining.
Look, you can actually, and you can see all the units just starting to converge now.
It's time to make your move, Spartan Strike. We've got 6 minutes left
now
until
it looks
we have to
like
shut
over on
down.
the west side of the map, it looks like they're actually taking a base plot just north of where they're at.
Here?
Yep,
you're right. Good call, Graham. We had us. Team Brute Force snuck away, trying to get another base established just to kind of keep themselves in this match.
And we got Spartan Strikers coming from that high base. Oh, I'm actually surprised that they went down and didn't.
Because they don't know about it. They don't remember. They've got Fog of War.
That's right.
They do not know.
They don't have that X button.
We could turn the Fog of War back on, and we'll see that they don't know what's happening over here.
That's true.
We do. See.
How many campaign missions will there be, the Uncle Kazoo? I believe we have talked about this, and it's 5 missions. So if we haven't revealed that before, we have now. Pretty confident that we've talked about it.
You know, one thing we might want to do next week, if for people that are interested, that don't mind a spoiler, I'd love to show like a Blur cutscene maybe.
I think showing a Blur cutscene maybe next week would be pretty awesome.
Of course, we
in case people are a little on the fence about picking it up. It's pretty awesome.
We're at 3:50. We're going to have to cut this stream off pretty quickly. Yep. So just to kind of recap, I'm Sketch, this is Grim Brother 1. We are showing off Spectator mode for Halo Wars 2, along with 2 new maps, Mirage and Fissures. All of that's included in the update that's coming out next Tuesday for free to everyone that owns Halo Wars 2 for Windows 10 and Xbox One. And also our Awakening the Nightmare expansion will also drop on Tuesday as well, which includes the 2 new leaders that we're seeing here today that we call the Brute Brothers, our new, my favorite mode in the game by far, Terminus Firefight, our 3-player co-op mode, and then that sweet new Banished campaign expansion.
That's true. On both Xbox One and Windows 10 PC.
Come on, Spartan Strike, you guys are so close. This is their last main base.
Got a leader point too.
Remember, though, they don't know that Brute Force did sneak off and get another mini base established. So
they're just coming right on there. Like, will they be able to amass anything? I wonder if
they're looking for it. They're looking. They don't know where it is right now. We do with the power of Fog of War.
We got coming north. Here we go. We got the Fog of War.
Make your push, guys. Make your push. I'd love to see it.
There it is.
I'd love to have a definitive winner.
There
they found the base. They found the base.
We got 4 minutes left for this.
Can they get their units here before we have to cut this stream? And speaking of Cup this stream, if you didn't catch us earlier, today is the exciting return of Halo Championship Series Pro League.
Yep,
Our North America Pro League resumes after a 2-week break. They're back in play today. A lot on the line this year, this season, with culminating with our finals taking place at DreamHack
Yeah,
Denver.
we just had an awesome event in London. We had HCS London there. Oh, there it is.
Enemy has lost all their bases. We just got the confirmation,
and
that is
We've got confirmation of
right
victory.
under the wire.
That's right.
Team Spartan Strike ties it up 1-1. Amazing comeback, guys.
We've already had some epic competitive action before Pro League even started.
What a match.
It's incredible.
I really hope we can get Team Brute Force, Team Spartan Strike back in here next Tuesday for the definitive winner-take-all showdown. Appreciate today's matches.
I like it.
Great gameplay. 2 new maps, Spectator mode. It's all coming out Tuesday.
It's awesome.
Check Waypoint tomorrow for Grand Brother 1's weekly update for some additional information, including some lore deep dives into our second new leader.
Yep.
And
we appreciate you guys for coming out. Thank you.
If you want to hang out, stick around, watch some of the best Halo 5 competitive players go toe-to-toe in North America. That's kicking off on this channel in just 8 more minutes. So with that, I think we're getting the signal to wrap things up. Thank you again for tuning in to our Halo Wars 2 live stream. We'll be back next Tuesday to celebrate Awakening the Nightmare. Stay tuned. We'll have the date.
Yep, big week next week.
We'll have the time for you very soon. So thanks for watching. We'll see you online.
See you guys.